That's true.
Chances are, if you've been over there, you've enjoyed some of the Asian flavors or Latin flavors. A lot of great restaurants over there.
Yeah, it's also an area of the city known as Ward 6, and now a cocktail from that same name at a restaurant of that same name melds those Asian and Latin flavors together. The Ward 6 is today's Mike's Mix.
I was walking through the market over at the Hmong Village. You know, if you've been there, you know, you walk through there, and on one side here's some fresh ginger and here's some cilantro, and they both meet, and I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Those flavors meld with the sweetness of Saint Germain, our favorite elderflower liqueur, ginger, the citrus of lime juice, and a new ingredient.
I say lychee. In England they say lychee, and I think that they sound silly.
Okay, what is that flavor?
It's a little hard to describe. It's a little fruit. It's a little hard shell, and the fruit is white.
It's a little like pear. It tastes a little bit like pear.
A little bit like pear, a little bit like grape. You know,
Very sweet though.
It's sweet and it's neutral.
The prep work for this cocktail requires just the slightest bit of elbow grease because of the tough ginger root in it.
Here's what you can do. You do your slice. You can cut those slices like that.
Okay, so you cut little wheels of ginger off the root and then cut them in half so they look like half moons.
Yep. And now this muddle, there's hard and soft. This is the hard.
Okay.
So I'm going to get it started. I'm going to mush this down just a tad before I add the cilantro. You know, otherwise I'll just beat the hell out of cilantro and it gets a little bit too green.
People either love cilantro or they hate it. There's very little middle ground there. I'd suggest trying it before you decide to dump the cilantro out of this recipe because there's just a hint of it. And don't be too precious about adding it.
With herbs like this, the stems are great. You know, there's plenty of flavor in the stems. And like a mojito with mint, you know, a lot of people will pick them and it's like, I don't think you really need to.
To that, add vodka, Saint Germain, and fresh squeezed lime juice. Shake all of that over ice, strain it into a chilled martini glass, and add the lychee juice. The final piece, as much for the smell as for the taste, is a wafer-thin slice of jalapeno, seeds and all.
And that's the Ward 6.
I need to get over there.
Like right now, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all my favorite things in a glass.
Yep.
The jalapeno, though, even though it's a thin slice, does it add a little heat to the
It hits
drink?
the nose, but you don't really taste it in
You
the
don't.
drink as long as you don't down one of those seeds.
Chomp it.
Yeah, or
The
chomp
seed,
it.
I
Yeah.
think it'd be great, though, with Asian or Latin food, just
Yep.
kind of
I had
intensifies the flavor.
one of our friends over at the Strib tweeted me and said this reminds me of pho in a glass, the Vietnamese soup. It's true. It's mild flavor, and again, if you don't like the cilantro, you can either leave it out or you could even double strain the drink. Those little bits of cilantro in there add some extra flavor. If you want the full recipe, and if you want actually all of the recipes from all of our Mike's Mixes of months past, you can get them online at WCCO.com.
Great.
As you know, almost every weekend I make one of your cocktails.
Well, good.
Are you going to do
This one I will do because I have the juice at home too. So
Do you have the lychee juice?
I do.
Yeah, you can pick that up at Asian grocery stores. Perhaps I could just borrow some of
you
yours.
can just stop on over.
I've
Perfect.
been too lazy to go there.